early in the morning, 9 o'clock. It's for me just unusual at this moment to wake up at this time because the sunshine in Los Angeles is too beautiful. Wow. My name is Chu Yi-Bing. I'm a cellist, but I was becoming only musician nearly at age of 40. And it's a long story. It will be a little bit music too at the end of talk. Sorry. But I want to tell you a little bit about my short life. I was beginning to learn cello at age of 8 with my father, Chu Yi-Bing. And my mother was pianist, and both of them were music professor at the Central Conservatoire in Beijing, China. And they were the first generation of professor of classical music education in China. And why I was saying that I'm a cellist, but not always have been musician, because I'm one of the million Chinese instrument learning kids who are learning playing instrument, but don't like music. Yes, that's true. Most of us learning instrument and don't like music. But because playing instrument is kind of technique, ability. And you can go far, be strong and stronger. But being musician, that means completely something else. That's something, well, let me say, because I'm in Los Angeles, I could even say almost something that I can't even say in my own country. But I will be very careful because I have still family in China. So it's being a musician, what that mean? That's something terribly missing in our musical education in China. Well, that's something I met for the first time when I was in Paris, when I was 17, finishing the middle school of Conservatoire in Peking. I went to Paris. My teacher was Maurice Gendron, one of the greatest French cellists of last century, big professor at the Conservatoire, 14 Rue de Madrid. By the way, I do speak French and German, and today is my longest, the most terrible hour in my life, because I must speak English for the first time in my life. Really, I never spoken English for that long time for this 1 hour. So I went in Paris. I was success in the entrance exam, and I met my professor. I didn't know him because I couldn't speak French at that time. And he told me, oh, if you want to learn how to play cello with me, you can go away now. What? I'm here to learn cello. So I just finished my entrance exam. So I was shocked. And the shock is, of course, only for a short moment. And he said, Maurice Gendron said, but we can share and discuss some music if you want. So that's the first time in my life, someone told me there is something different between playing instrument and making music. Wow, I was shocking. I was wondering. I didn't understand. Not at all. And those words by Maurice Gendron, my professor, stay in my mind till today. And I think forever. So I'm a little bit confused of happiness of this unexpected, like I have written on Facebook. Because I'm invited by Cello Bello to talk, to play, to share something with you. Invisible friends, I can't see you, you can hear me. We are living in a totally unexpected, crazy time. Everything is unexpected. The pandemic, the virus, and something else too. Just like music, I think life is unexpected. And why we human need art? I know there are millions of cellists. I should talk about some fingering, bowing, and play some Bach and explain some. No, I think million or even 100,000 could do that. But I want to share with you invisible friends, but you are there. I can't see you, but I see you like in the movie Avatar. We are living in a world of Avatar. And perhaps, who knows, this human contact. So we are saying all the time, every day, social distancing. So we never know if ever this human distancing will ever come back. Will ever feel the breath to each other, with each other, by making chamber music together, take the upbeat together and look at each other in the eyes directly, not via Zoom and WhatsApp, Skype. We don't know. Because everything's becoming unexpected. I think we are very, very lucky that we are a musician. I play cello. I will play something for you at the end of this talk. But first, let me tell you how blessed I'm feeling now, because I was leaving China at end of January, the day after Chinese New Year celebrating. And I was teaching in Germany, in Swiss, Geneva, in Zurich, and in Munich, in the conservatories. And suddenly, we couldn't fly back to China anymore, unexpected. So what should we do? Me and my wife, who is also cellist, we will play. She will accompany me on the piano for me later. And we didn't know what we should do. We have a little luggage, not for check-in, just for a short trip for 1 week in Europe. And we took flight tickets to the United States, a country I always wanted to know, to understand. And we are today which day we are? The 10th July. Yes, from 8th February till today, we are here. We feel totally blessed and happy, honored. Like I said, always unexpected. I think this is the most important word in life and in music. We're very happy to be here, and I've found a Chinese factory cello somewhere in Los Angeles. A friend gave me to play, so I play every day. I was not playing cello every day in my life. Like I said, I didn't even really like music. I learned only instrument because my father wanted. That's the way how we kids begin learn music. But I was very kind of gifted. I was playing about 150, 60 recitals in 1 year when I was 10 years old in Peking, in China. At that time, it's still the period of Cultural Revolution. If you guys don't know Cultural Revolution, very short description. Cultural Revolution is burn all the books, to burn all the instruments. Yes, to burn every piano, cello, flute, and the music professors, they kill them, or they let them kill themselves. Yes, that was Cultural Revolution. And so ask me, everyone was killed or self-killed? No, not everyone. Many of them. But what about the rest? The rest, like my lucky father and mother, they were on country in a camp, and my father made a job to feed the pigs and to plant rice in a big rice field, and mother doing the same. No music, no instrument, no any paper with a foreign letter on it. A, B, C, D, F, G, Beethoven, Bach, no. No music, nothing. That's the Chinese Cultural Revolution. So I was born in that year, 66. And I was following my parents in the camp. As a kid, I think even in the war, that's something also unexpected. Don't believe that every child is unhappy in the war. No. Child just keep playing with anything, with everything. We don't know what that means. Pain in the heart, complication, tragedy in mind. No. We were just playing, the kids, in German, Arbeitslager. Yes, a camp for working. But every intellectual professor in China has done that. That's the terrible Cultural Revolution. So, and when I was 10, my parents came back to Peking because they were far away. They were sent 1,000 kilometers from Peking, from the capital where my family lived, for work, like millions of other Chinese intellectuals. At the end, they were coming back, and I began already secretly to learn cello at the age of 8, because my father has, grabbed under some old, terrible, sticky furniture, a small piece of wood, kind of cello. And he even made string himself, bow himself. After 2 years learning, I was beginning to play, of course, only Chinese music, no Western music, no Western. It's totally prohibited. If someone play one piece of Bach, Beethoven, and your neighbor hear that and call the police, you go to prison for a long time. So, but I was lucky, and people, after 10 years, the Cultural Revolution began at 66. So when I was 10, 76, people began to feel a little bit, so normally like, and there was concert, but only with Chinese music. And I was playing a lot of Chinese songs, folk songs, and playing recital. I mean, I was alone on stage for an hour. And that I was doing that almost 150, 160 times in a year. But I didn't like music. I didn't remember what I was playing, not at all. I was just having fun, and my father or my mother took me after my recital to eat somewhere in Peking, late night, and that was my first memory. I only remember what we have eat, but not music. And then I went to the college of the middle school of conservatory, and after that, the Cultural Revolution was officially terminated, finished, and we began, the whole country, musician began to play Bach, Beethoven, and so on. And I was even able to make a recital recording, the first Chinese recording after Cultural Revolution ever with a name of a foreign composer on it. I remember that. That was the concert polonaise for David Popper. Da 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 dee dee dee. Yeah, that was shocking because a foreign name on a cover of a recording, that's historical and done by the kids. Of course, all official, but it was the first classical music recording ever in the 70 years, after almost 30 years turbulence, political turbulence in my country, China. So, and I finished the college middle school of Central Conservatory. I went to Paris. I didn't know what is Paris. I didn't speak French because I was prepared to go to Zurich, Switzerland to study there. So I was learning during almost 6 months in China, German. So I was in Switzerland, and an old friend of my family, his name is Walter Grimmer, a Swiss cellist, former professor and conservator in Bern, in Switzerland. And it's another story, because we met each other, Walter Grimmer, middle in the Cultural Revolution in the Swiss embassy in China. It was totally unusual and secretly happened because at that time, no Chinese citizen was allowed to meet, to talk with foreign people. You go to jail for that. So, and there was a Swiss quartet, Berner Quartet, went to China, play in the Swiss embassy. Well, I have a confusing life. I still feel confused. So I'm telling you a confusing story. My own grandmother was Swiss. Yes. My Swiss grandmother, she came from Switzerland. She studied in the United States in the 20 years. And she married a Chinese medicine, my grandfather, mother side. So mother of my mother was Swiss. And they, two young people, went back to China at year, I think, 29, something like this, 1929. And she lived there as a foreign people. And she was one of two Swiss people living in China doing almost half century, doing 50 years. And my grandmother lived in Beijing more than 70 years. So people ask me, oh, you have a Swiss grandmother, you can speak German and French. No, even my Swiss grandmother must behave like a Chinese citizen. We never talk, not one word English, German or French, which language she does speak, my Swiss grandmother. No, it was not allowed in our family to speak any other language than Chinese. Otherwise, you go prison if neighbor heard another language speaking. So I was always talk all my life long with my Swiss grandmother, Chinese. Just at the end, at 1983, I prepared to go to Switzerland. I learned for the first time in my life from her mother language, German. But once I was in Switzerland, this Walter Grimmer, who I met 10 years earlier in China, and we met again in Switzerland, he told me, please go with me to Paris. I will introduce someone, my teacher, Maurice Gendron. I was listening that I didn't understand French. I don't know what is Paris. And of course, I have no idea of the name of Maurice Gendron. No. So that's the one who told me there is a difference between playing instrument and making music. Wow. So, and after 6 years study in Paris, my lucky year, I don't remember which romancer, how do you say? Roman Roland, someone who, he or someone else told, when someone lived in his youth in Paris, he will be forever young. Probably true. So after 6 years study in Paris, I was becoming principal cellist in Switzerland, in Basel. And that's for 15 years. So I was lived during 15 years in Basel, being principal cellist in Basel Symphony Orchestra. Lucky years, quiet years. I had family, 2 wonderful kids. And suddenly I had a wish to go back to my country at 2004. I was the one as Chinese citizen. I'm still Chinese citizen today. That at that time in Europe, let me say something very vulgar, because there are people, they not only understand something harmonically and beautifully. Oh, there are things real, practically necessary in our life, like money. So I earned a lot of money when I was in Switzerland. We played a lot of concert, opera, symphony, and I was touring also as invited guest principal cellist by Bavarian Radio Symphony Orchestra under Rory Mazel, almost doing 5 years all around the world, making concert, having fun with friends, big symphony halls everywhere in the world, also United States, of course. Making chamber music. I was playing with one of my great friends of my life, Bernard Thomas Mifune. He's the arranger of cello ensemble music. Lot of concerts, hundreds of concerts during years in Germany, Switzerland, France, so in Europe. And after all these years, suddenly I had a wish to go back to my country, to serve my country, to do something I wanted for the next generation, for my country people. And I went back on my own decision by shocking a lot of people, include my own mother, my family, because I have a beautiful life. I've had a beautiful life in Switzerland, a lot of money, and comfortable situation, and beautiful future, of course. And but I wanted to change my life. So I landed in Zurich, in Switzerland at 1983 when I was 17, and finished my Swiss life at 2004, 21 years. And I became professor at the Central Conservatoire in Beijing, China, where my own parents teach. I teach cello. I try to teach my own country people in Chinese, of course, because I'm Chinese, I'm talking Chinese. But the words, the mind, the idea, the spirit of what I've learned in France, in Paris, by Maurice Gendron, Conservatoire National Supérieur. And it was shocking, because in my own country, when you talk to people and say there is a difference between making music and playing instrument, they look at you like this. And but I was doing that with pleasure, with honor, and I introduced the idea of cello ensemble in China. And I was doing 15 years when I was teaching in Conservatoire as professor with my class, with my cello student, we were playing almost 600 charity concerts all over, crossing the country. China is a big, big continent, not only a country. And we're playing almost 600 charity concerts with classic music for millions of my Chinese compatriot country people who listened for the first time in their life classic music, see the first time cello, and of course, the first time chamber music, cello ensemble. You know what, dear friends, invisible, in our own Chinese traditional music, we didn't have harmony. For us Chinese people, music means melody. And only melody means music. There was no harmony in our own Chinese traditional music. But you know, in a cello ensemble, like playing Rossini, William Tell, Bach, even Gershwin, some jazz, or Puccini, some opera pieces, Italian opera, all Tchaikovsky, Onegin, it's all harmonic music. And that was shocking for my country people. Because normal Chinese people, when they hear a beautiful melody, they're happy. And less beautiful, they're not so happy. But it's all good. But when there is two sounds different, there is the G and the Mi and Do and a chord there, they feel shocked because they don't know what to hear. And still today, still my country people, when they hear harmonic music, they said to me, "Oh, Professor Chu, you were not in tune." They mean that I was not playing one note, because melody is a linear line, and harmony is like this, right? Vertical lines. So that was a shocking story to play harmonic chamber music piece for my own country people. But we were doing that since during 15 years. And we played even for President Obama, for President Macron, how called the former French president, many state politicians, and even for our Chinese president, we played the first time chamber music for them in a national big dinner party. Yes, the first time they hear chamber music. And I still remember, now time has changed. We still be able to play once a religion piece. Probably you don't know, more or less religion pieces are prohibited to be played in my country, in China. So you can't play like Matthäus Passion from Johann Sebastian Bach in China. It's not possible. You are not allowed. Police will come to you in the concert. Yes. So we are be able to play Ave Maria from Bach and Gounod with cello ensemble for our Chinese president. Feel very honored. No one else ever did that. And after that, never again. religion peace in China. So, and we play in that almost 600 charity concerts in almost 400 university, college, schools, and we were very often in hospitals, in prison. Yes, I think we were the only Chinese musician ever in the modern time, at least. I don't know if that ever happened before 100 years ago or 80 years ago. I'm not sure. But in the modern time, we have been the only to play some classic music for human in prison. Yes, because I've learned in a big world, we are all human. Just an idea. In my country, our own culture, your professor, his student, and who is father, who is son, who is powerful someone, who is a little worker somewhere, or prisoner. But the word human is not so easy to be used. And I think music is for all human beings. That's why we played music everywhere. And of course, that was shocking. People ask me all the time, all those 15, 16 years, why you do that? I can't answer because you can't find always answer to every question, and especially to every unexpected question. That's the sense of music. We just sing, we just feel, we just transmit, we just share. We don't really know what we want. That probably I have learned that by my professor, Maurice Gendron. He told me, tu es là pour servir la musique, ne te sers pas de la musique. So, with my poor English, you are here to serve the music. Don't serve yourself with music. I didn't understand at that time, but again, those words stay, I think, forever in my mind. We must not have a goal. We must not always have an exchange. What can you do for me? I will play music for you. We should behavior like a bird, just sing. I always talk to my student who played something I didn't like and say, of course, I'm sure you can play better if I ask. But what happened if I'm not there? You're not playing for me, for your professor, me, teacher Chu. No. You play for yourself. Imagine, I'm always talking like that in Peking, in the Conservatoire, in Chinese. It's always shocking for my own Chinese country people. So if once the end of the world happened, all human disappear. It's music. And now we are living in a crazy time. We feel almost in a world of avatar. And other days I was doing a online master class teaching in a festival. I talked to American, French, Chinese students. So I feel we are becoming all aliens. We are not human anymore. we can't hug each other anymore. We can't hear our breath from each other anymore. It's not crazy. So that's all unexpected, but it's true. So unexpected things are almost true. I have no idea. I had no idea what really I wanted to talk to you, with you. Let us perhaps to play one piece of Bach. There's a beautiful story behind. I'm here now in Los Angeles, and the other day, a friend called me, Yi-Bing, will you go with me on a tour? I said, yes, but for what? Oh, to a family who licked the furniture and the things. And so, what is that? We go in a family. We don't know. Yes, all organized, is permit, is official, it's nothing illegal, it's called some, yeah, it's Los Angeles, happen very often, every week. So we were on the way in a car, and this friend told me, oh, the sister who lived in that house, there were two sisters, they were musicians, they were big professor in California, and one violinist, the other cellist. I was, what? Is that the Schoenfeld sisters? Oh yes, you know that? Of course I knew. I didn't know them personally. Of course, a beautiful name. So I was shocking myself. I was sitting in the car, go to a family and taking things, buying things from their home, organized liquidation, because the two beautiful great musicians died before. So I was in their family, and there were a lot of things, a lot of people, hundreds of people taking furniture, old beautiful piano, and old beautiful Mercedes car for not much money, and chairs, and I was shocking, because the first time in my life I see something like this. And me and my wife, we were there. We should probably there was some music in paper there, because two big musicians all their life long, they must have a lot of music, and we found, and we were almost crying, because so thousands of music papers, scores, and nobody cares, and this, wow, terrible situation. And we have bought some edition, etude with how do you say, notice by Eleanor Schoenfeld, the cellist, one of the sister, and the piece I wanted to play for you is the piece I found at her home, edited by my beloved Professor Maurice Gendron. The piece called Johann Sebastian Bach, Jesus Christ, I implore you. I implore you. I hope I can pronounce that right. I always wanted to play this piece. I never could find the edition, not even in Paris. And I found that in Los Angeles, unexpected, in the family of the sister Schoenfeld. And that's a piece I want to play for you. for all not yet becoming aliens, human in our crazy situation world in this pandemic. We can't play directly, we can't talk directly, but still we can feel each other, like in the avatar world said, I see you. So I want to introduce my wife, Chantal Dong, who was my former student, cellist, and who will try to play on beautiful music for you. Thank you. I'm sorry with some errors of my part and my wife Chantal, because we just got the music some days ago. Suddenly I feel I cannot talk anymore normally after such beautiful music. beautiful music, because the human language, speaking language, is useless, is unnecessary after such beautiful music. And well, what can we do? Still talking online and continue to teaching online, making online festival, and once we will only have online life. It's a crazy imagination. But something I'm sure, I'm not sure that the situation, even our life, will come back necessarily, normally, totally normally, again. Nobody's really sure. The only thing I'm sure is things expected, other unexpected things will come for sure. And we are so happy, honored, and feel blessed that we have music in our life. I do feel music now, and I was be able to learn how to feel the greatness, the real happiness, you see, after the music, my level of speaking, English speaking, is down 2 degrees in 3, because it's really difficult, unnecessary to speak. We should make music, continue to make music. And I was conducting 5 years long, the beautiful student orchestra in Germany, in Freiburg, near Basel. When I lived that time in Basel, I've learned a lot of things by these beautiful young people, German students. None of them was professional musician, but they taught me how to love music, why we should love music, why we should have music in our life. And that for the same reason, I didn't want to change myself. I promise you to explain why I quit the Conservatoire in Peking, China, because it's the most beautiful, highest paid job in China. Because I wanted to teach on my own way, to teach young people not only to play their instrument, to feel something, to transmit their feeling, not to show how strong or fast or what they can play their instrument, their cello. No, that's the feeling, that this speechless feeling we transmit and share with each other, even now online. That's music. That's how we should learn music, how we should work, how we should play, how we should feel. Because I couldn't continue to teach my own country people this way, like I like. Because, like I said, a lot of things change in our world. We can talk about pandemic, natural catastrophe, tragedy, natural catastrophe. But there are also human tragedy on our world. So there are nature, naturale catastrophe, there are other human tragedy. And I'm the one who totally obeys the natural catastrophe, but I refuse to take part of some stupid human tragedy. That's why I quit, because I want to, of course, I want to teach cello, continue. I want to have some students, even here in Los Angeles, in the United States, in Europe, if I can. But the way I want to share music with you all, of course, with my country people, Chinese people, I wanted to do my own way with my mind and spirit and ideas, and not who tell me how to do what. Of course, I'm not always right. Nobody is always right. But I have lived in my life several lives. 17 years in a pure red China, in the time of Cultural Revolution. I was even called by the former director of Paris Conservatoire. His name was Marc Bleus. He was director. He called me the first red Chinese who joined this beautiful Paris Conservatory. And almost 20 years in Switzerland, life and working, and now 15 years teaching in China, making concert. Lot of music, sharing human feeling. I was not there as big professor to teach people how to play cello. I am still learning myself. If that's the teach way I use, that's the teach way, because I'm learning myself still, of course. But to share, to transmit human emotion, since it's not really possible anymore to do that, I quit. I'm so happy to see you today all. I hope I will have chance to talk to you again, to share my music with you again. We have me, myself, and my wife Chantal, we have made our own web page called www.supercello.com. supercello.com. That's a festival we have organized, me and my wife, since 5 years. It's the biggest Asian cello festival. We have invited more than 250, 260 European American artists performing there, cellists, orchestra, chamber musician, and we're doing crazy things like how we Chinese love to eat from morning till late night, and that's how we make music. From morning, Bach suite at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we have 7 or 8 concerts on a single day, late night. And you may not know, in my country, every concert activity, every artistic activity is controlled. It's, well, it's not a system. So every time the culture officer asks me, why you play concert at 9 o'clock in the morning? That's time to eat. Why you play music? So I was making stories, fantasy, and of course, try to tell them that our beloved Maestro Casals playing 1 Bach suite each morning. So please join us at supercello.com. There are some pictures we have taken, not professionally, but it's a big human feeling, emotion festival, not only a cello festival, and there are thousands Chinese parents taking their children and buying tickets. We are probably the only musical artists even in mainland China who can make the balance, because we don't have any sponsors. We are not sponsored by the system, by the government, conservatoire, nothing. We sell tickets and we could survive since 5 years. We hope. I have no idea when we could fly back to China. Perhaps never. We don't know. Like myself, I said, a lot of unexpected things will come, but I love unexpected things of life. I enjoy. The only thing I know is when music sounds, we are enjoying every moment, every second, every instant, catching things which are invisible, like air, like light, like time, like emotion, like music. We can't have it. We can't even own them, but we can enjoy, we can listen, and we can share them. That's the purpose of music making. Thank you very much, dear friends. I hope to see you again. And well, a little propaganda, publicity, advertising. If you know someone to play, want to learn cello, to listen to my stories and play with me later, you can contact me. My webpage or Facebook, I'm on it. Since I'm here in Los Angeles, United States, I can come on Facebook without problem. Thank you very much and have a nice day, good evening, have a good time, enjoy music, enjoy your life. Thank you very much. Goodbye.